Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise and I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious and sustainable ways. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about self-confidence. So as you may know, I have mentioned previously that I struggle with my own self-confidence and self-esteem quite a lot. And so this of course also has an impact on the outfits I choose and what my sort of personal style preferences are. So without further ado, let's dive in. I want to start this video by mentioning the aspect of growing up, because I feel like this has a lot to do with the self-confidence that you later evolve through life. As kids, we would be really scared to be different, but as adults, that is all we want, basically. Following trends is usually very important when you're young, but as you grow up, that sort of fades away. And we have other responsibilities which keeps us busy, other things to focus on, which we feel are more important rather than keeping up with the latest trends. As adults, we also have a better understanding of what matters to us, where we want to spend our time, and what makes us happy. So trends aren't as important anymore. Maybe it's because as adults we're more comfortable in our own skin and we feel proud of our interests and quirks that we have. Older people or adults are also less prone to feeling hurt by negative comments or jokes than children are. So I would argue that self-confidence evolves with time and it is something that you will always need to work on throughout life. But at the same time, we still ridicule older people who fail to keep up with the latest trends. But why do we do that? In my opinion, I would argue that it's actually those who have lived the longest who have the better idea of what's most important in life, and they give the best life advice. At a recent family gathering, I spoke to the mother of my uncle's wife, and she is 97 years old, and she still gets her hair done at the hair salon every single week. She has this like beautifully manicured nails, and for the occasion she had dressed up in a little cute like pantsuit, and she looked beautiful, but most of all she wore a smile and she looked really happy. And it made me think about all of the times that I've met her. She's actually been so happy. We talked for a while and we spoke about the importance of making an effort every single morning and how even the minor differences can make such a big difference when it comes to your mental state of mind. For her, getting ready each morning means that she has a purpose with her day and she can feel her best even if she doesn't have any plans. I can certainly relate to this because I work the majority of my time from home, and I feel a huge difference in my mood on the days where I actually get dressed and put on an outfit rather than the days where I just like throw on a pair of leggings and an oversized t-shirt. So even if the leggings are more comfortable, I know that if I actually make an effort, then that will have a huge impact and a positive effect on my self-confidence. So with this said, sometimes when I get dressed, it doesn't matter what I wear. I am just having one of those like bad days where nothing feels good. Believe me, like it's so easy to deem the day as ruined, and I used to consider on bad days that, well, my outfit doesn't matter either, so I'm not even gonna try. But as I said before with my 97-year-old relative, it does matter and it can make a difference. Now when this happens, I try to my best ability to ignore the feeling and wear the outfits I would wear on a good day. Even if I don't feel good inside, at least I can pretend to feel good. And sometimes that works as a way to trick my mind into thinking that I am self-confident. It's kind of like a practical affirmation, saying or doing something until you believe it. A big part of my self-confidence sort of journey, or whatever you want to call it, is trying to let go of what other people think. I've always loved fashion and clothes, and so therefore during my younger years I would sometimes get a little bit ridiculed for being too dressed up, and I can't count the amount of times someone has told me like, oh, you're really wearing that, or oh wow, you're so dressed up. Sometimes that would discourage me and I would feel a bit silly about my outfits, but there's nothing silly in wanting to look your best. So what I've learned and what I still try to remind myself of is that when I get dressed in the morning, I get dressed for myself, not for anyone else. Like, of course, certain events may call for certain social rules. Like, I'm not gonna wear something crazy to the office, but in the end, it's my personal preference that matters the most when it comes to what I put on my body, not anyone else's. I would rather wear something that makes me feel great rather than something that appeals to more people. And if you think about it, so would you. Let's say that you are painting the walls in your apartment and you're painting it in your favorite color, but then your friend comes by and says that they prefer a totally different color to the one that you've chosen. Obviously you're still gonna paint the walls the color of your choice. You're gonna paint it the color that you want because you're going to be living there, not your friend. And the same goes for your outfit. You are gonna be the one wearing it, not anyone else. So if you have good self-confidence, first of all, congratulations. I'm very jealous and I hope to get there one day. If you have good self-confidence, chances are that you're more likely to experiment with different colors or different styles that reflect your personality. As a result, your outfit will be more creative and true to your personality rather than if you wear similar outfits to that of the people around you, or if you are simply following the latest trends. You may not even be afraid to stand out anymore. You may even enjoy it. You will also feel more comfortable in your outfit because you're getting dressed based on how it makes you feel rather than what other people will think. I will say having good self-confidence obviously does not just affect the way you dress, but it can affect other aspects of your life as well. You may feel more motivated to try something new. You may find new friends. You may be able to apply to that job you've been looking at. You may feel like you're more certain when it comes to your opinion about something. So these are just a few examples of the many positive effects of good self-confidence. So I know that it's easy for me to sit here and say that having good self-confidence will make your style better. I know that it is much easier said than done, and I am still working on my self-confidence. Here are two things that I have tried and still do in order to improve my self-confidence. The first one is that I have done or am doing a little bit of a digital detox where I try to minimize my behavior of comparing myself to other people, because my problem mainly lies on me scrolling through Instagram and looking at what other people are wearing and how other people look. So I allow myself a maximum of 15 minutes per day on Instagram. I also try to go back to using Instagram as a way to connect and interact with my friends rather than scrolling through influencer feeds. The next thing that I've done is that I've listened to a positive affirmations podcast. And I believe I've talked about this before in a previous video of mine, but it's an episode that focuses on self-confidence, self-love, and self-worth. And by listening and repeating those affirmations each day, I hope that in the long run, these affirmations will be so ingrained in my mind that I will be able to recognize any negative thoughts and stop them before I think them. There are lots of other things that you can try as well. Let me know if you struggle with your self-confidence and sort of maybe some techniques or some tips that you have. Please feel free to leave those in the comments. That would be very interesting to read. So if you feel like your self-confidence affects the outfits that you pick and how you style your clothes, then I would say that you should always go with your gut and trust what works. I wouldn't advise you to experiment too much if you're having a bad day. Of course, you should try to challenge yourself from time to time, but if you aren't feeling at your very best, then doing that could make it even worse. If you try something new and you feel insecure about it, you may fidget around or adjust your clothes a lot, and that will make you feel even more uncomfortable. So instead, try to opt for the most comfortable option that you know works and that you know you have felt good in before. I know that sounds kind of boring, but with time, you will learn what styles and colors and accessories work the best for you, and you will also grow more confident in your outfits the more you wear them. This allows you to experiment with accessories or other pairings later on in the future. I would also advise you to write down any outfits that you know you have worn before that you have enjoyed, and this way you always have a little list of go-to outfits for when you don't know what to wear. Another small tip of mine is that you should try and put on your outfit a little bit before you actually need to go through the door, because that way you can get used to the way your outfit feels and the way your outfit looks before you need to rush out. So put it on, let it marinate, and get comfortable in your outfit before leaving the house. I have a whole theory and process when it comes to outfit planning, so keep an eye out on my channel for that one. A side note before I end this video is that I would argue that pop culture wants women to be confident, but not too confident. I'm sure you're familiar with this old song by One Direction called What Makes You Beautiful, and I believe they sing, "You don't know you're beautiful, and that's what makes you beautiful." Whilst this is a pop song with probably the best of intentions, it is kind of proving my point that being aware of your beauty, or even worse, admitting that you're beautiful, isn't very desirable. This is wild. Of course, you should feel beautiful and be proud of it. And there are thankfully many songs that prove otherwise. One of my favorites is Flawless by Beyonce. And so whenever I have like a bad self-confidence day, I always try to listen to those encouraging, confidence boosting, like girly songs to make me feel a lot better. In my opinion, there's no such thing as being too self-confident. Of course, being cocky or self-centered, that's a whole nother question. But when it comes to loving yourself and being proud of who you are, that is something that we all should work towards. Even if growing my self-confidence may take a lot of time and effort for me, I really want to achieve a feeling of being 100% comfortable in my own skin and feeling proud of who I am. And at this point in time, I wouldn't say that I've nailed down my personal style or that I'm always super happy with my outfits, but at least I've gotten to the point where I no longer care what other people think, and that is a huge step forward. So in the end, you live your life for yourself, so why wouldn't you dress for yourself? As always, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe share this video with a friend. I wish you the best week ahead, and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye!